How can we stay on top of things? I will give you some amazing strategies in this video that you can use over and over again to be able to accomplish everything that you set out to do. Welcome to the Efficiency and Organization YouTube channel, where I talk about everything to do with being well planned, having strong time management, having good efficiency, productivity, being super organized to be able to achieve everything that you set out to do in your life, whether it's in your personal life or in your career. In case you haven't seen any of my other videos, I can share with you some things that'll help you to understand where I'm coming from when I share these strategies with you. So I am currently a public school administrator. Besides that, I have my home, I have my children, I have 2 side businesses, and I also grade papers for what's called Cal TPA, that's for up-and-coming teachers. So you can imagine I have a lot going on, and my job as a public school administrator is very time consuming. I typically put about 11 to 12 hours each day, 5 days a week, in at work, whether I'm there or I bring it home with me. So I have a very, very busy life, as I'm sure you do. Now, one of the questions I get asked the most is, how do you do it all? Like at work, for example, I have 90 million projects going on, right? As I'm sure you do. So then the question is, how do you do it? Well, I have these strategies that I use for me, and I'm going to share them, and I want to see which ones you think would work best for you. First things first, what I do is I write everything down. And I think this is the biggest mistake that people make. They rely on their memories a lot, and then they forget to do things, and then they have to apologize. Then they are seen as unreliable. Even if people don't tell them, they start to lose trust in them. They start to see them as scatterbrains, right? And so that used to happen to me a lot. So I began to write everything down, and it's worked wonders for me. Even on the go, in passing, when people ask for things, I automatically ask them to email. I'm very organized with my email. I read every email and I delete quickly the ones that I'm done with, or I have to save, I save. And so that way everything is in writing. Please get in the habit of writing everything down so that way you can accomplish as you go. The second strategy is actually 3 parts. Number 1 is post-it notes. Number 2 is checklists. Number 3 is what I call my project folders. So with post-its, sometimes people would ask me to do quick things that I need to get done. I would write them, put them on my desk, and the goal is by the end of the day to get them all accomplished. So I don't use post-its for things I need to remember long-term to do. That does not work. The best thing, post-its are supposed to be temporary. They're sticky notes temporarily. The idea is for post-its to be thrown out before you leave. Checklists are amazing because, especially when you're doing projects, you can write down everything that you need to accomplish and then check them off as you go or cross them off as you go. The third way is project folders, which also work very well for me, and I will show you. So this video that I'm making right now, I have to have it recorded, I have to have the title for it, then I have to edit it, then I have to put it on YouTube and put it on the website. So there's lots of things I need to do with it. So I have these folders that I make. So basically it's just a pocket folder that you could buy from like Amazon. I'll have the link in the description. And I use these over and over again. And then on top of it, I just put my checklist for what I need to do with this project. And I have a lot of these projects because I have several things going on all at the same time, as I was mentioning to you, but I put them in priority order so that way I could tackle the most important ones and make sure I do not fall behind. Which leads to strategy number 3, prioritizing. So whether you're using checklists, whether you're using post-its, or you're using the project folders, you have to prioritize which ones have deadlines associated with them, and also which ones must be tended to like right now. So after making the folders, you can actually put them in priority order, which ones are like number 1, number 2, number 3. So with the folders, what I like is you could put this goes on top of this, therefore this is more important. This is what I like about them. It takes everything that you need to do and puts it in like some kind of a physical form, right? This is something physical, tangible. That's what I like about them. Same with the post-its. You could put them in priority order on your desk, which ones are high priority, medium priority, and low priority. And I'll actually share another video that I did just on prioritizing in the link in the bottom of this video in the description that you can watch. So with checklists, post-its, and all these things, prioritizing is key. So that way you don't fall behind. Next strategy is calendaring. The importance of having a calendar and a planner, so that way you could go and put things that you need to start working on, things you need to follow up on. It is key, which again goes back to the whole premise of writing. If you write stuff in the future, you're not going to forget. You're not going to say, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that, because every time you forget something, you're like blaming yourself. Whether you like it or not, you realize it or not, you're blaming yourself. Each time it's that negative self-talk. It's like, oh, I forgot to do this again. To build your self-confidence, you need to have self-discipline and not procrastinate. And you also need to have a good system for writing things down that need to be done a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Put them all in a nice planner, whether it's on the computer or it's on paper, so that way you could keep track of everything you need to do. And the last way to stay on top of things is when you have large projects, to break them into smaller, more achievable parts. It's so important to do that. So just like I was telling you for like this YouTube video, all the steps I need to take, if you notice, I already told you I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. So there are, if I look at my list just for like the video, I have 9 things I need to accomplish from start to end. And that's what you want to do with big projects, is every time, like even if it's like something at home that you need to do, like event planning or anything like that, you want to have all the steps written, so that way you don't fall behind, you don't lose track of something, and everything gets done because there's like a nice checklist associated with what you need to do. So the more self-discipline you acquire to not only write things, right? Not only having post-its, not only having checklists, but also like to actually implement them, do them, and not procrastinate them, is going to make you better and better and better with time. Do what works for you, but don't hold off on making decisions, because again, that's a form of procrastination that you don't want. And each day have that mindset that you are going to be on top of things and you're going to get a lot done. It all starts with how we wake up and how we project the day is going to go. If we have a positive projection, if we say we're going to do it, we're motivated, and we tell ourselves that we're going to achieve a lot today, we're going to get a lot done today, so that way we could be fulfilled by the time the day is done, the better it's going to be. Thank you for being with me, and I will catch you in the next video.